Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network hot take. If you have not seen a hot take before, well, it's where a few friends get in a basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, a movie, or a game. Today, it's going to be a TV show, and that TV show is Castlevania Season 3, exclusively on Netflix. To discuss, as always, Chris Trio.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
How are you?
Good. Corona. We just did a podcast
my
on it.
Corona.
We'll see it in the future.
Yeah.
By the time this is out, that won't be out.
Exactly. Yeah, well, we're staggering these.
Corona.
We're filming them all on the same day.
We got the hand sanitizer. I'll probably reference it again in the next podcast.
About a pound of it. So hopefully we're good. But yeah, Castlevania Season 3. Just finished it up this morning.
Finished up yesterday.
Finish it up yesterday?
Yeah, last 3 episodes.
Broad thoughts.
The beginning was a little slow for me, and I was kind of like, we only got 10 episodes. Where are we going?
Yeah.
And the end was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It really finished up really strong.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I really like Castlevania. I for anime purposes, I definitely say I dabble in anime. I'm definitely not
a dabbler.
Like fully in it. I don't watch a ton of anime, but I've watched enough.
Sure.
Castlevania, I think, is a great entry point for people who.
So this is an anime?
Yes.
That's what makes an anime.
The style of animation.
Interesting, because I would not have thought. I guess it is.
It's a Western anime.
Yeah, yeah. I love the art style in the show. Yeah. I really do, and even the character designs and just the way people move and the fighting. It's fucking fantastic. But yeah, I think I'm on the same level as you. I thought the beginning was a little bit slow. The ending kind of confused me in some ways, which we'll get more to in spoilers. But overall, I had a fucking great time with it. It was a breezy 10-episode watch. I like that they're kind of stepping up more. The first season was only 4.
It was 4. It goes 4 to 8 to 10. I'm like,
yeah.
Can we get 16?
Yeah,
because that's what I feel like. I was like, well, a lot of story threads are going on in this season. Whether it's between Trevor and Sypha and then Isaac and then Camilla and that other Forge Master, which I forget his name.
Isaac or no?
No.
Oh, it's an H.
Hector.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him, and then there's one other story thread. It is Dracula. Or not Dracula, Alucard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of story threads going on, and they're all pretty interesting and actually reasonably chunked.
For sure.
And it's
they do a good time or a good job of spreading them out, I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
and it's just okay, by the end, this is where Alucard's going to be next season.
It's ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That's so, we'll get into that. But yeah, no,
I would love the ending, though. I can't wait for more. The beginning of the season was just kind of getting into it, and then by the end, it hits you, brings you home, and you're like, I want more. But now, all of our characters are in very bad places.
Very bad places.
Not as good as where the season started.
Sure.
The beginning of the season was very, holly jolly for,
definitely
most of the characters. Maybe not Isaac and Hector, but, Trevor and Sypha seem to be in a relationship now. They're having a great time killing
those two
creatures.
are my favorite.
I love them.
The relationship is awesome.
Yeah.
They seem like they really enjoy being around each other, and I know it's a cartoon, whatever, but they're just written very well, and they gel very well together. And god damn it, I love that she uses all the magic. Nothing annoys me more than a fucking wizard or something in a movie or a show that's a wizard and does nothing. Case in point, fucking Gandalf. I hate him in Lord of the Rings because he's a goddamn wizard and he never does anything. It bugs the shit. He's fighting Saruman.
Good observation.
That's what
I've never noticed that.
He's fighting Saruman, and it's funny because I've talked to Super about this because he's big. He's well, he's really more of a watcher, and he doesn't. He's only supposed to be there to observe and help when really needed.
That's really what speakers are too. And she's a speaker, and then
she's a speaker. So you can be a speaker and a speaker magician, right?
They're magicians, but they're very much religious people, and they're there to watch and keep guard and have information and stuff and be keepers of knowledge, but not really let's go fight night creatures and shit.
Sure,
they're not like that.
Yeah, but. Again, with the Gandalf, he's fighting Saruman on the tower, and they're just throwing each other into the wall with telepathy. I'm like, use a fireball, shoot a fucking lightning bolt, do something. But in this, she's like flying with her fire, the way she's creating the ice crystals, the different hand movements and everything.
She like, I don't know if she like discovers how to use electricity, like at the one part where she electrocutes the water, but like it's like, oh shit, we're seeing a new power.
What I took that as was her. She can't use that often. Like, it's a very powerful thing that drains her.
She like concentrated enough. And even Trevor, I mean, like, you know, he's a monster hunter. He's not like enhanced, but like his weapons are holy, and they affect demons and hell creatures and night creatures. Like,
dude, the chain whip.
Yeah, I love how he brings out the normal whip.
I thought that was cool. So is that like in the game at all or anything like that?
Yeah,
or like,
Trevor uses the ball and mace thing.
Yeah,
and
then the whip. No, I thought that was. I said it before, but the fighting in this and just the viscerality, if that's even a word, of just the scenes are awesome, and they do things that you just can't do in a live action setting, and it just makes it that much cooler. But just that
Matt Penza does not agree with your Gandalf, where he just says blasphemy, and he said, "You shall not pass."
I will take you to the fucking bar on that one. That's not even a saying, but I just created it. I don't know. We'll have a whole nother rant on that one then one night, Penza. But yeah, it's a really great show, and I think the way they characterize all their characters makes sense. There was a few points towards the end that didn't quite make sense with me with the characters having to do with Alucard, but
I think I can explain that to you.
And I'm curious to hear. But overall, I just think they did a fantastic job with this series.
Yeah.
In all 3 seasons so far.
Again, I was kind of getting into you. If you're not really an anime fan, I think this is a good point to get in anime, especially when it's Western made and there is like, it's not made in Japanese. So like, you're not like, so I feel like sometimes when it's too Japanesey, especially for me, like,
there's those tropes
you
that
get
annoy
like
me.
Turned off
a
little bit. Like, I've watched like Evangelion recently. Like, that was my last anime. Attack on Titan. Two like pretty huge animes, and like I like a lot of them, and some of them I just don't really have an interest in, like Naruto. It's long. 2, it's just like I'm not jumping into Naruto. It's not really my cup of tea. And I like how Castlevania 1 being extremely violent. Anime only gets to a certain point, and I think Attack on Titan is the new most violent anime, but this kind of even trumps Attack on Titan.
Sure.
And I mean, Castlevania has a lot of language. We got a lot of nudity. We had not one, but 2 sex scenes going on simultaneously. One being a bisexual sex scene and a straight sex scene, and like all happening at the same time. And
they pushed it up to 12 at that scene. I was like, oh, okay. This is, and then I was like, well, what's gonna happen here? Because obviously this is building to like a climax of some sort, and we'll get more into that in spoilers. But is there anything non-spoilery?
No, let's jump in. Let's talk about the season a little bit.
Watch it if you haven't. Tune out now. Go check it out. Not for everyone. But if you're into some really cool cartoons of some kind, jump in. So the stuff with Alucard and stuff with, what are their names?
I forget.
I can't remember either.
They're from Japan.
I just felt like it was a very sharp turn out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
Like
I think that was the point.
Yeah.
I think it was like, oh, these maybe these guys are going to be joining our cast of, of people to fight not Dracula, but like night creatures and the vampires and stuff. And they turn out to be they're still that, but they detect that Alucard isn't telling them everything. Which I would expect him, I don't need to be told that. I kind of like assumed like, he's probably not going to tell him
things close to the
everything.
Vest. Yeah.
Like he is
especially
Dracula's
for the beginning,
son. And he does no shit.
Yeah.
Like, and like, of course he's not going to like, he seemed pretty open to begin with.
For sure. Like,
he's letting these random people into his home and like teaching them about, the Belmont's, the trove and like,
technique
and like, oh, here are these weapons and like, this is how you're going to fight them and I'm going to teach you. But like, and they're kind of interested in like, why won't you move the castle? And I think he says I don't know if he says he can't, but like,
he's like, we're not able to do it anymore.
He alludes it to the fact that like, he probably doesn't want to.
Like, I think he said it could take some work, and you could do it, but he's like, I have many other things
and they kind of like call him out on his bullshit. And I guess they're trying to figure out what they can do to like really use Alucard's abilities and like his expertise like to the max and really.
They don't want any stoppers on right now. They want it full force.
Right, and they're like mind you, this whole time Alucard is like lonely.
Yeah.
And like you get that with this first
You don't even
episode.
know how
like,
long he's been
a few
alone,
months. No, it's a few months.
It is definitely a few months,
I think he acts like it's longer, but like
Because,
realistically, it's only been a few months.
Sure.
And he's just kind of like, like he's lonely.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like why they just have sex with him, because they know he's lonely. And like he's not seeing anyone. He doesn't even have, he makes the little puppets out of Trevor and Cypher because he misses them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have any friends.
Why did they just leave him there again?
I don't know.
Like, I can't remember. Didn't they? I feel like they invited him to come with them, but like he wanted to stay and watch the castle or something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it makes sense. He has to kind of like clean up after Dracula's mess to an extent.
And I would have liked to see more of an interaction again between Alucard and Trevor and Cypher. How do you say her name?
Cypher.
Cypher.
Yeah.
I think it's Cypher for some reason. I always say that. But I did love that connection in the second season a lot, and I kind of did miss having
that trio.
Yeah, and even it kind of sucked to see him be by himself for the whole season, but I do kind of get
now he's in a bad headspace where
like he's starting to think like his father almost.
Right.
Yeah, and like you're seeing
like
that
Dracula.
growth in the wrong way.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I guess like I said, my only gripe there would have been maybe make it a little bit more noticeable or reason for them to. I guess they have the reason.
Mind you, he's half vampire. He is what they're hunting.
It's true.
And he's lying to them. Not lying, but they take it as like a negative.
So does he have to drink blood?
I don't think so. No.
Why wouldn't everyone just be a half vampire? I feel like that's like the best of both. Like you can go out in the sun and the night. You have all the vampire powers.
I don't know.
They're doing it wrong.
Because you got to get vampires to fuck humans.
And I guess then once you're yeah, that's true. And I guess then when you're and they just think of them as fucking animals. So
right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
As you can see with like Camilla and stuff. Camilla was a character who like really got a side bar in the season. Introduced in season 2 as like a big part of Dracula's regime, and then they kind of get back to that castle
with her sisters or something.
Yeah, and then she like pretty much like, oh, we're gonna build an army and
do what Dracula said he was gonna do.
What's her? It begins with an L.
The one that's like
talking to Hector a bunch. Yeah,
I can't remember.
It's like we're gonna figure out stuff on our end, but like apparently she's gonna get Hector to make night creatures for us, and that's kind of where that season is with that arc. And in the beginning, you're like, she's gonna manipulate him
for sure,
and then you kind of believe maybe she does just like him, and maybe she really wants to try to get him on his side. And then she like the way she like just totally manipulates him to have sex with her, and then tell him to say that like he wants her, and like
she
loyal
is
to her,
hers,
and slips that ring onto her, and he gets like turned into a slave. And I was like, fuck.
No, it was good.
And the way she's like, being like talking down to him, but being very positive about it.
Yeah.
Is like, I'm like, holy
She's like, what? You're my pet now. Like, it's like,
it was really crazy.
It is. It was very mind game.
And like he was a a villain last season, and now I'm definitely feeling for him. Like maybe he's
honestly, you know what his arc sort of reminds me of, and I don't know, Jaime from Game of Thrones, in the way of like you hated him to begin with. And then they really kind of broke him the fuck down, and now you feel sympathy.
What do you think about our other Forge Master, Isaac?
I thought his.
Go ahead. No, sorry.
I thought it was.
So I started talking.
That's cool. I thought he was cool. I feel like they kind of just treaded the same ground with him this whole season.
His was definitely the weakest for me.
I think so too. Honestly, not a ton to say.
I feel like they were trying to make him more sympathetic to you too.
Yeah,
like you could tell, like okay, like he wants to kill the humans, not because of this, sort of for the same reasons as Dracula, but like he's taking his own experiences and like putting him into that hatred of human beings because of how he was treated,
and it makes him not want to see the good in people at all. Like
right,
yeah, and you see it
so
with the captain.
He's not just like the court of the vampire sisters.
Sure.
Like, they're vampires and they just want to kill humans, plus they need to survive.
Yeah.
He's killing them for, like, essentially, like, not selfish reasons. Like, just
or something
revenge.
He thinks is right.
Righteous,
in a weird way. Yeah. Because he just sees humans as repulsive and not even worth your time, basically.
Right.
And, yeah, I don't know. I would agree in his storyline being the weakest, for sure. Not even like I was like, this is aggressively boring and I don't care at all. It was more just like, I kind of forgot about him.
Right.
And then we'd go back to him and then be like, oh.
And then we have Trevor and Cypher kind of,
dealing with the cultists,
going
and
on
stuff.
their quests, and then they kind of get to a village, and this is kind of like, you know, like just another one of their quests. They get to this village, and like something's going on, and they're kind of investigating, and like it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and like you're really like, what's this cult doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? Like and the alchemist, I forget his name, Saint
Germain.
Saint Germain, yeah. I was like, he has a cool name. Like, I liked him, and like he was there for like another reason, but like, you know,
Side character that came in and
had
cool.
some pre-existing knowledge about this portal, but he also had some personal stake in it, and like the cult was weird, and I the judge was kind of an interesting character too.
Yeah, he was.
And trying to figure out like who's this guy and what are his stakes, and is he evil or bad? He's okay. He seems like he's kind of good, but he's like kind of a douche.
jerk off. Yeah.
Yeah, but like okay, like he's helping the characters.
There
he's
was
getting
that
them
one point where he
to go.
told the kid, he's like, go to the
I
tree.
thought
And
he
I
was
like,
really being nice.
the way
at first.
I thought so too, but the way he said it, and he was like, go past where your parents told you not to go.
Once
and
he said it to Sala, I was just like, why the fuck did he just tell him to go that way?
I thought he was like with him for some. Yeah,
I thought he turned and like, oh no, he's
letting him get away. Yeah,
yeah. It's like what? Like what happened?
One thing, another thing I got to say in this, the voice acting in these are awesome. Like
Yeah.
whoever they get, like the guy who plays the
Trevor?
not Trevor. Well, Trevor's great too.
Richard Armitage.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of the monk, the main monk.
Sala?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that guy, the way he talked like this the whole time, like
Yeah.
it was just.
And
it
even
was super
him,
creepy.
it's like, is this guy evil? And then it's like, oh wait, no, he's
He
actually
thinks
curious
what
about
he's
this.
doing is
No,
right. Yeah,
like when Saint Germain like tells him something, and he's like actually like, oh no, tell me.
interesting.
Yeah, like you can't tell how if he's being ignorant on purpose or not.
Or he's and then the whole stuff with the night. I gotta say another thing: the night creature designs are
crazy,
terrifying.
so out of
They
the
are-
box.
they
It's
are.
just like like there's not just like a few types. Like they're all over the place.
Yeah, like it's not just this is a weird looking wolf or
Nah,
something
this is
like
a
that.
lion on 4 spider legs with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, like, or just 4 like human. Yeah, so fucking weird and out of the box, and it's interesting to watch. It really is. I'm trying to think of what else happened.
That's kind of the whole
That's
season.
what I was thinking.
I mean, again, 10 episodes, only 20 minutes a pop for the most part.
Yeah,
give or
I think
take.
like the longest one was 29 minutes.
You could watch the whole series pretty quickly.
You can watch it in a day if you
especially
really
since we're in the
wanted to.
quarantine and a lot of people have extra time on your hands. You could rip through that whole
And
show.
especially if you haven't watched the first couple seasons, you'll know if you like the show within the first episode. I feel like.
Yeah.
And if it's not your bag, don't watch it. But I think it's well worth the time, and it's a lot of fun
Yeah.
and crazy gory, like you said, which I appreciate. That they didn't hold back anything, which
Yeah.
I think is to the credit of the show.
Yeah. Can't wait for the next season. Just hope it's longer.
Yeah, I do too. I actually, I will say, I feel like the 10 episodes for me this season was kind of
Really?
that sweet spot. Yeah, I didn't find it to be. I did think. I remember last season, even the 8, I thought was good, but that first season with just the 4 definitely felt
Right,
like
but that was a
was a
we gotta,
test.
We got to
Yeah.
test this out because I think
And-
that was like the first anime that Netflix ever kind of got their backs behind, and they have a ton of anime.
Yeah, and now
Which
they
is
got. I
funny.
mean, I'm pretty sure they have a deal with that Aviarid guy. I think that's his name. The main.
Yeah.
He is supposedly making. We haven't heard anything about it in a while. An AC show as well.
Dude,
Which-
here's if Konami ever gets rid of their Castlevania IP, which
Yeah.
was apparently in talks, Metal Gear, Konami, Silent Hills.
I saw that.
Or Metal Gear, Silent Hills, Castlevania.
Yep.
I think if they make another Castlevania game,
No, there'd be a big pop.
there'd be a big pop, but I'm like, yo, put it in this universe with the show.
I'm curious. Like, so those are like top-down ones. Right? Are they RPGs? Like,
No,
what are
they're not top
Castlevania?
down.
They are.
They're side scrollers, and they're usually like Metroid. That's where Metroidvania comes from.
Okay.
Castlevania, Metroid.
Oh.
They're like exploration puzzle games, and you're
Like, I'd love
side
to see a
profile.
full-on like action RPG set in this.
Castlevania
universe.
is
And I think-
definitely not a game from our time, especially the good ones.
For sure.
Like Symphony of the Night was the second one, but you usually play Belmonts. It's not always Trevor.
Sure.
Trevor is in one of the games. I don't know if he's in Symphony of the Night, but Richter Belmont, Trevor Belmont, Simon Belmont, all from the Belmont family at different points in time,
Interesting.
fighting Dracula. And like Alucard's in some of the games. Sypha, I think, is original to the show.
Oh, she is.
So I don't know how close the show is to Castlevania, like as a property, like besides like some
Some
like,
names,
like Dracula
and
I don't know like what all the characters besides Trevor and Alucard and Dracula are actually from the games. But you know, I feel like this could be a jump start for a game universe.
I agree. I think it could be very cool. But I think that does it for us, Gooch. Is that right? Awesome. Thank you all so much for watching live. If you've been with us on twitch.tv/Delco Network, we very much appreciate it. You can find us on YouTube as well as most podcast services. Just search Delco Network. If you could drop us a review while you're at it, that helps us out too. Pushes us up on the charts. We're also at Delco Nerds on everything, all the socials. So search us up there, Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff. You can find all this information located on DelcoNerdNetwork.com. For Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.